Hey folks, Hammeh here with a bit of interesting news from the last couple of days. The Overwatch World Cup has been announced again for 2017 with some big changes to the structure, a new statue is on the way, and perhaps there's some hints as to who the next two characters might be from an eagle-eyed Redditor. And finally, it looks as though an Overwatch Heroes of the Storm event has been leaked and is incoming pretty soon. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments, time codes in the description below to skip. Well, first things first, the Overwatch World Cup is back. Yesterday it was announced it's going to be bigger than last year, and there's still ways for us all to get involved, even if, like me, you might not be the most pro of Genjis. First phase is the announce. Now, nations have to secure their own spot in the Overwatch World Cup by winning and ranking well on an average competitive season rating of the top 100 players. By pushing their country's skill rating to the top of the list, the top 32 teams will get involved. So whatever country you're from, you can help your nation secure a spot in this year's tournament by bringing your best to competitive play. When the qualification period ends in 26 or so days' time, 32 nations are going to qualify for the World Cup. Now you can see where your nation might be ranked at the moment on the top 50 list here that I'm scrolling through. This is all on the Overwatch website. If you think you're high ranking in your country, regardless of the size of your country, you've got the next few weeks to bump up your rating to help your country potentially get in. So that's pretty cool, giving more countries than last year, when some countries in the pool were pre-selected, a chance of getting involved. Second phase is team selection. When the top 32 countries have been identified, players from those countries will need to work together to assemble their 2017 Overwatch World Cup National Committee. Now, this is a new bit from last year, and I think it's been introduced for a particular reason. Each national committee will consist of 3 local experts who are going to be picking roster picks for all stages of the competition, including the BLIZZCON finals. So note, to start with, that means that a team's lineup could change between the qualifiers and the finals, if need be. Committees have a key role to play according to the Blizzard website in team selection, suggesting lineups based on players' synergies, hero pools, and past game performances. In short, doing a bit of a manager-coach job. The selection process for the National Committee is going to be in 2 phases. First, there will be up to 10 nominees per eligible country with expertise in the field, quote unquote, including analysts, coaches, statisticians, and other authorities in the Overwatch esports community. From there, players in those countries will vote for who they want to see selecting the roster for their nation. Voting for this starts in April, shortly after the top 32 countries have been locked in, and only eligible players in each country will be able to participate. This bit is like the public vote from last year's World Cup, but tweaked a little bit. The local player base will be voting for the panels, and then the panels will pick the teams. Now, I think this is probably meant to address a criticism a few people had of last year's event, that the voting system meant that more well-known players or personalities might get selected for a country's team above perhaps maybe the more skilled in a public vote. This system gives room for both. Although players can probably be on the panels, it's probably more likely that Blizzard will pick a mixture of or 10 nominees that aren't, or mostly aren't, esports or higher level players. Shrink that down to a panel of 3, and I think that will probably help address that concern from a few people. Now, no system is perfect, of course. Remember, the Overwatch World Cup is a big exhibition event, like a World Cup or a Harlem Globetrotters game. It is, of course, competitive, but I'm totally happy for it to exist alongside more core or classic esports events with full professional teams. The Overwatch League being worked on at the moment and potentially launching later this year is a big part of that professional side of things. There are great tournaments on like Apex, Overpit, and all kinds of stuff that you can see. So I want to see a competitive Team UK, of course. Go UK. I'm so totally happy to see a mix of pros and personalities. And don't forget, there's a whole bunch of good players in loads of different places too, who might not even fall into those 2 buckets. It'll be great to see some of those guys come out and play. So do get involved in voting should your country make the top 32. The third phase is live qualifiers. Now again, I'm really excited for this. It's a step up from last year. The qualifiers were online then, run by ESL. Now there are going to be 4 live group stage events across Europe, North America, and Asia this summer. Each group stage will be 8 teams playing for a whole week, with the top 2 qualifying teams at the end of that week going to BlizzCon. Tickets are going to be on sale on May to watch live at these particular events, but all matches are going to be online for free, so if you're about during the summer, I'd definitely check some of this out. Now, it's interesting that these are live during summer, as it kind of limits to a point big events going on during that time that these could be held at. Now, I would probably bet my bottom dollar that Gamescom would be a good potential site for an EU qualifier. Blizzard bring a lot of esports there already in Germany. It's very well attended. They like doing announces there, as they did with the Last Bastion cinematic and new map last year. And as for America, well, perhaps San Diego Comic Con in July, or a bespoke event maybe. I wonder if there could be 2 North American events, as it's Blizzard home turf. The other candidate, of course, which is perhaps more likely, is Asia for 2 events. I would Again, assume there'd probably be a Korean hosted event, then China perhaps? Australia could be a curveball. Last but not least, it will be BLIZZCON. The top 8 will duke it out there. It was awesome to watch last year with Korea doing some amazing things. Are they going to defend their title again? Well, hopefully someone can bring some challenge to them. What did you think of the World Cup last year? Did you watch it? Did you like the sound of it this year? I would definitely tune into some of it, whether your country's actually involved or not. If you enjoy playing Overwatch, it's awesome to see top teams and players battle it out. Some of the skills and tricks on show really are awesome. Okay, next up, a little bit of news on statues and a bit of speculation as to what we might see next. Now, you've probably seen that there's a Widowmaker statue announced recently, statue number 3, following the official Tracer and Reaper statues that we've already seen on store. But there may already be a clue as to who else is on the way, and it actually goes back, coincidentally, to the last Overwatch World Cup. Now, fair play to Master Quasar on Reddit for this, who was looking back at the Overwatch World Cup images from 2016. Now look at this one. What looks familiar? Well, we've got 3 statues there that with Widow's release we all know to be products. Tracer, Reaper and Widow. They are all in the exact same poses, as well as the Soldier 76 statue from the Collector's Edition that the statues take, and they are also all on the circular base of the statues. So who could be next? Well, look at Mercy and Genji there in the background too. Popular characters, could it be that these are 3D models for those statues further down the way? Here's hoping. It might be time to sacrifice my wallet to grab those Genji and Mercy statues. F to pay respects. Last but not least, for fans of Heroes of the Storm or otherwise, there may well be some fun reasons for us to get back into the Nexus as Overwatch fans soon. Heroes of the Stormland is all hype thrusters engaged at the moment due to an update called Heroes 2.0, which is coming to the game very, very soon. With big changes to things like progression, new items, crafting systems, a new event and cinematic incoming and more, Blizzard have been really good about giving a timeline for the whole next month of news, events and dates to watch out for, which is really awesome. The reveal page and roadmap had a sign up for email news button on the official website yesterday. Clicking that gave an email mentioning an Overwatch themed battleground and the deadly assassin Genji. Direct quote there. Now, as soon as the news started doing the rounds, this was removed. It was also in the source code, the HTML of the web page. So not only an Oni Genji skin in the last event for Heroes, but more likely than not, you can play Genji in the Nexus pretty soon. There's a Reddit Q&A today and a Heroes timeline unlocking on April the 12th with another new hero and a new battleground on April the 17th and 18th. So I'm pretty sure that Genji is leaked early there and it'll be him and an Overwatch battleground just in time for the Heroes 2.0 launch event April 18th. Also, fans of d.va might want to hang on in as well. There were voice lines spotted in the client that were removed late last year referring to heroes responding to d.va. Now, Heroes of the Storm record voice lines and interactions in advance, and some of them, hero-wise, don't actually make it to the game. But Heroes of the Storm players at the moment are crying out for more tanking options, claiming they've had a lot of assassins recently. Our little gremlin could fill that role quite nicely, I think. There are 2 heroes due into Heroes of the Storm within the next month. If we have Genji in an Overwatch themed map, then Genji and d.va perhaps. Either way, I'll definitely be heading into the Nexus in the coming weeks to cover any Overwatch stuff happening, including voice lines and interactions, so let's see what happens. Will you, as an Overwatch fan, be heading into the Nexus for some Genji action? Remember, of course, that if you haven't tried Heroes of the Storm, it is free on PC, so you can always jump and get stuck in there as well. Finally, a little bit of Hammeh news. My silver play button notification arrived. That's so awesome. Expect to see a video of it in the 6 to 12 weeks it's apparently going to take to get here. Thanks so much for getting me here, as I've said before, and please do let me know what you want to see more of video and content-wise. I wouldn't have got here without you. I want to make sure that I'm doing what you guys enjoy. If you enjoyed this vid, throw a like, subscribe, comment on what you think. Really helps me out. Thanks for tuning into this news roundup. I hope you've discovered some new bits of news and other bits of the wider community you might not run into on your daily Overwatch YouTube or news travels. If you're new to the channel, do check out all my regular Overwatch lore videos. These playlists and videos here can be clickable on mobile, desktop or laptop. If you don't want to miss a video, remember to visit my channel page, hit that notification bell in the top right and then activate any notifications you'd like to hear from by hitting save after. You'll never miss a video then. Cheers for tuning in. I've been Hammeh. Take it easy.